I don't believe trade is the main driver of that, but I'll grant that it does happen sometimes.
Who cares about bringing money? Okay, the whole idea of running like a business.
I don't really think it's something that you should take. No,
the argument against charging people rent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically the philosophical argument against
that's a legitimate criticism, because, I mean, you look at why USA was even invented.
So, I don't know. Like, I think a recurring theme or a recurring trend is that
less and less government. I want personal responsibility. I want personal accountability.
say that I'm like left and liberal. I don't identify as like a communist or alternative stuff. Probably like why would that be revelatory to know that water boils in?
About people who are diplomats or ambassadors from other.
Did I say that? Did I say that it was theoretically possible to include like it increase?
Natural society is a society where it's survival of.
You can. What you're describing, you can't do. It's, first of all, not what I'm talking about. Second of all, we can't.
So basically, like, even your Lord and Savior Donald Trump didn't do the best job.
That nature, we refer to it as being conscious, or the conscious community.
So I think that gay marriage at the Supreme Court level actually.
No, but my man is in the building.
And I find it very interesting that fellow believers are.
I'm sure there are examples, but these are minor examples compared to the ones that I'm giving. I'm putting down two.
It's unconstitutional, they shouldn't do it. But now they're arguing about, well, if they do it.
This video with a little blonde hair.
Yeah, that's what your mom said last night too.
Let's ignore USAID. That's obviously upsetting you, and I get that. Because
no, it's not upsetting me.
There's a reason I'm successful. There's a reason why I'm liked.
This is exactly why Democrats.
Oh, Saint, you little shit. Oh, there goes my monetization for the stream. We are limited now. Saint says, I'm not a dog. You're not a dog. You're my little shit trapped in the basement. You're locked in the puppy kennel. All right? But he says, here is the second 5 I owe you. Geez, talk about being such a greedy bitch. See, you called me a dog too. Chat, she kept hounding me for the second 5 I owe her. Damn, enjoy. I told you it was going to take a full 10. Anyways, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I am Raging Tomato, the Raging Tomato. I was going to say Raging the Tomato. That's weird. I don't want to know what that means. Do not think of, actually go ahead. Write what you think Raging the Tomato would be in the chat. Let's just break open that curiosity. The kitten is in the bag. All right. This evening, I had a little schedule shifting, so I decided that I would be the one with a claim, and we could all have some fun with it, and you guys can duke it out with me later if you think I'm wrong, okay? I have a theory, and I've been thinking about it for a while, and I decided, you know what? I can go ahead and do this one tonight. Shocking news. Men need gold diggers to win the war on feminism. Prove me wrong. Hello, Kimberly. Welcome. You know, let's make sure everyone that comes in the chat that we don't recognize, or they're new here, or they're kind of new here. Let's make sure they are welcome. Raging the Tomato, is that code for a woman being on her period and she is ready? You know, that's a pretty good code. That it would work. Hi, Jason. Gaudette. Jason Gaudette, not the other Jason. I haven't seen the other Jason in the chat yet. Toasty Man Bad. Christy, Mrs. Balderson, how are you? Don't even know what that means. You don't know what it means that men need gold diggers to win the war on feminism, or you don't know what Raging the Tomato means. I'm not sure. Let me know. Why do they need them? Well, I will explain. Yes, she's here. Hey, Kimberly. Oh, friend of yours. All right. Before I move on with the topic, I need everyone to do their one sole purpose job. Being here, sharing is caring. Number one, you should be sending this link out to this show right now to at least 3 people, or at least 3 Discords, or 3 social media outlets, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Go share it. Sharing is caring. We love you. Do it. If you are watching on X, I'm going to go ahead and shut that down. This was just a brief little trailer for you. If you want to see the rest of my claim, You need to come over here to YouTube at The Raging Tomato, not Raging the Tomato, but we can talk about that later. And we can discuss why men need gold diggers to win the war on feminism. All right, we'll catch you over on this side. Okay. Oh, goodness. Click button. All right, Phoenix is here. Criminal. Okay, gold diggers. All right, we'll get to that in just a second. I want to say hello to everybody. Locksmith Jeremy. So I put a post out today basically asking what kind of music do you like to listen to when you work out? Now, a lot of people came in and said, work out? What's that mean? I don't work out. Hey, couch surfing is still a sport. Surfing is a sport, ladies and gentlemen. But Locksmith tore it up with like 40 different YouTube videos, music videos for me. And I thought it was hilarious. And I was like, whoa, Nelly, whoa. But I still haven't utilized them because it was very overwhelming in the moment. And I was already through the bulk of my workout. But I will utilize those tomorrow at the gym. So thank you. Rational Folkism says define gold digger, as I will. Let's just pull up the Google version so that we're all on the same page as is understood. Gold digger definition. A gold digger is an informal, often derogatory term for a person, traditionally a woman, who initiates or maintains a romantic relationship, marriage, or association with a wealthier person, primarily to gain money, gifts, or social status, rather than for genuine affection. This behavior focuses on exploiting a partner's financial resources. Now, hi, Zers. Let me say hello to everybody else and I'll get to it. Drop the link. Not yet, but I like your name and your picture's lovely. Spicoli wants in. Oh, God. All right. Well, he's going to have to wait until I get through my spiel first. And then I'm happy to drop the link and then he can come up here and I don't know. Anyway, so the one thing that I keep hearing for the anti-feminism war, right, which I'm all for it. You know, I think there are some things that need to go away. But for anti-feminism, pro get married early, make lots of babies. Women should be staying at home, housework, kids, support your husband, make sandwiches, all of those things. Like, yeah, being a wife. Yep, being a wife. I'm all for it. Or did I say husband? Stay at home. Did I say stay at home husband? Did I say that? Freudian slip. My apologies. Stay at home wife. If I said husband, I apologize. Anywho, this is kind of like the big piece that is the huge anti-feminism rhetoric that we're all very. I did. Oh, that's funny. My apologies. I did not mean that. Freudian slip. But anywho, so women should stay at home. Women should be supportive wives and submissive wives. They should make babies, shut their mouths. And the man, as the red pillars like to push and the anti-feminism folks like to push, say things such as the men are the protectors and providers, protectors and providers, protectors and providers. Okay, well, thanks to feminism, right? Women have been able to secure their own bag, right? So in order to incentivize a woman to want to marry you in this day and age, you gotta just not be an asshole, right? She doesn't care if you're poor. Well, essentially, right? I mean, are you just a dude that sits around doing nothing? That's a different story. But if you're a, I don't know, if you're working towards something and you're making sacrifices and things like that, showing very good ambition and whatever, that's great. And just like Criminal Speed with the kind reminder, thank you. Thank you. You are already an amazing helper here. Thank you so much. I will start a poll. Say, did you like the video yet? You say, yep, I'm awesome. Or not yet, I'm a loser. Still. All right. Hit the poll, hit the like button, and of course, we have a dono goal. And you kind of know my drill. I'm still an asshole about opening up that panel that you guys love so much. So don't gold digger, don't care if you're poor. Well, not quite, but that's what I'm saying is in today's age, your average female doesn't necessarily care how much money you have in your bank account, right? She probably has her own job. She probably has her own bank account. She probably is renting her own apartment. If you are both around the same age and you're working together and moving towards a goal of, okay, in 2 years we'd like to get married, have a house, all these things, and you're both working towards that, how much money you have at that time isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? So women now, that at least what I've heard within the videos and the articles and all of these things, actually want you to be a nice, not nice, I won't use that word. We don't like nice guys, right? Wrong terminology in this place. But we actually want you to love us and adore us and be good to us and not be a douchebag and not act like these like Myron Fresh and Fit stuff where they're like, yeah, kind. You guys are helping me out. Thank you for helping me find my word, kind. We want you to be kind to us. We want you to not be a douchebag. We want you to, not be the Fresh and Fit, like, oh yeah, you got to fuck 50 girls before you get married and treat them like crap. And if they're not submissive, get rid of them and yada, yada, yada. Right. Like that's just weird. A normal world, I've never heard any man say that ever. And they're all right wingers. None of them are lefties. Okay, I know where you're going with that. Anywho, so in this day and age, though, it's not just what the man can provide or protect you from. It's more than that because we can essentially provide for ourselves financially overall. We could be waitresses, bartenders, nurses, doctors, lawyers, whatever. We can do all of these things and work towards something and provide for ourselves if we need to, even if it's only just sufficient and minimal, or work a couple jobs. I've been no scared chicken from working multiple jobs. I'll never forget the time I literally had actually 4 different jobs at 4 different bars bartending. And I was a student as well, because sometimes you do like guest bartending where you're like a featured bartender. You only work like 1 night a week or something like that. But then you have your main gig and then you have your other part-time gig and then you guest bartend somewhere else and this and that and whatever. And Saint would be a shitty boyfriend, and this is why. And yes, I would absolutely be wonderful for a call center. Hello, Mr. Saint. How are you this evening? How may I assist you? Anywho, my camera's going all stupid. So in any event, you can bring money to the table. That's great. You can be a protector and a big, strong man, ugh, or whatever the case. That's wonderful and lovely. But I kind of can do that for myself too, right? Oh, we found our black pillar. Or no, not black pillar, MGTOW. Coming in from Locksmith Jeremy with a big 25 says, say no to marriage. It sucks. It doesn't suck. I was married for almost 10 years. It was beautiful, right? Aside from dumb shit he did, like I loved being married to him. I adored him. Well, except for the dumb shit that really pissed me off. Actually, he might have. No, well, yeah, because he had to go buy a different tool for what he had to work on, so he might have left it here. Anyways, but yes, shout out to our MGTOW, residential MGTOW. You've been called out. You called out yourself, sir. But marriage is beautiful. I do not want to deter anyone from it. If you find somebody that you are absolutely head over heels in love with, and they are head over heels in love with you, and you've got everything planned out, and you have goals together, and you want to grow old and change each other's diapers when you're in your 90s, go for it and love every minute of it and don't look back ever. I don't regret it. I don't regret being married. I don't regret the divorce. We're great friends now. We actually were laughing about that just recently, how all of his buddies at work can't believe that he gets along so well with his ex-wife, and he could just call me and say, hey, could you help with X, Y, and Z? Or I can call him and say, blah, 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 blah. It worked out just fine for everyone, and life's good. The brown pill. What's the brown pill, Plumpy? I got a little puppy running around the house trying to leave brown pills everywhere. Let me tell you about that. It's not been fun. The potty training, it's moving very well, but not fast enough. Not fast enough, because that little Opie's killing me. And Plumpy, of course, giving the gift that keeps on giving. A shout out to the real Hydro PX for getting the gift. Shout out to you, and thank you, Plumpy, for your kindness. Anywho, marriage is great. But I think what's going on is because women don't financially depend on men anymore. We're allowed to have our own bank accounts. We're allowed to get our own mortgages since 1970 something. We're allowed to own our own homes without having co-signers and men involved, or stuff being willed to us, or whatever the case may be. We're allowed to do all these things, right? Whether that's good or not, I'm not going to make that argument. But it's here and it's in your face, and now you got to deal with it. However, we can say that men are no longer necessarily competing financially over each other for the women. Now they're competing with the women, right? This is something that I kept hearing in, I had a Twitter feed or something where, they were just going nuts about, well, women destroyed our job market, and if they just stay out of it, we would all be making more money. Now, I remember listening to an economist video kind of disproving that and saying it actually wouldn't work out that way. And in addition to that, women have always worked. We've just not worked very meaningful roles, right? Our jobs were kind of like clerking or seamstresses, laundry, housemaids, things like that. Nothing of importance where you could, be the millionaire on the block. So that ability was left to only you until we were granted the ability to enter in the industry in any direction we wanted to go. And now we're everywhere. I'm sorry. I know. Earmuffs, headphones, you won't hear the prattle, and you'll be just fine. So we entered the workforce. Now we make our own money. And now men are now competing with us financially. Therefore, when you take a girl out on a first date, some of you like to say oh, well, are you going to buy your own meal? Let's go 50-50. Let's split it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. If that's your thing, if you want to go that route, fine. Okay. But women still don't make, I don't think we hold the heavy hand on who makes more. I'm pretty sure last time I checked, it was men that make more. I could be wrong, but you want to take a girl out on a date, and then you want to tell her go 50-50. Well, she's probably going to be like, fine, I'll buy my own, and then I'll go find someone else to talk to later. Right. And here's why I say this. You're trying to court me to eventually, if you have those intentions, this is why I say don't date with casual intentions. You want to try to court me with intentions of getting married and having babies later. That's great. But if you're going to start the relationship off with, oh, we're going 50-50, well, I'm going to go 50-50 all the way on everything, and it's not going to be pretty. I don't want to start our relationship like that. Did Sarah just admit the wage gap exists? I mean, I'm not an economist. I don't look at the numbers and eyeball them. I think we're just not in as many jobs as the big money making jobs as men are. I don't think it's a wage gap. I think it's an industry difference. If I'll put it that way. I'm not going to be out there in an oil field lining pipe. Pause. And making, $50 an hour to do that. Those guys probably make a shit ton of money, and the skill level is it's skill based, not smart based. So, I mean, thank you for asking. Hold on, gentlemen. You can just go take a shit or something for a minute. It is actually Elf. Elf, right? It's like cheap shit, nothing special. And this one is a plumper. It's got the plumping thingy on it. I don't think it necessarily plumps them. It just makes your lips sting. And this color is apricot feelings. Are you feeling a little apricot, Kimberly? Anyway, so Iotin sending the matriarchy out into a complete love zone. Iotin sends in the Big Ten, says, since so many women can pay for themselves now, men have to have good personalities and be better dudes to get them. Iotin just summarized my entire theory here in a matter of one super chat. Thank you so much. And hello to those over there watching on the Rumble side. We're glad you're here hanging out. That's fair. That's fair. No judgment here. You say whatever you want over there. It's Rumble. You can say anything you want on Rumble. Nobody's modded up to stop you. You just say it all and you leave it over there and we don't worry. Okay? Anyways, are you feeling are you feeling a little African? It's apricot. Anyways, all right, back to the point. So, we technically don't need you to financially buy shit for us, right? We got our own bag. We do all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. You take us out on a date and they're like, well, since you can afford your own Gucci bag, does anybody have a Gucci? Do people really buy this shit? It blows my mind. Anyways, since you have your own Gucci bag, you're going to buy your own coffee. And to me, like if you're courting me, like I was starting off earlier, if you're courting me for marriage and babies, my intentions are to stay at home and be marriage and babies, right? And I have every incentive to want to do that. Now, whether that's the best plan for our family or not is going to matter when we get to that point. And we, as a family, a husband and wife, sit down, talk out the options. If I got to work, I got to work. We got to figure it out. If I don't, great, whatever. I would love to stay at home and just make all the babies we can. Okay. There you go. Over on the Rumble side, you guys can talk through me to each other. All right. Anyways, so men, if you're a douchebag, if you're an asshole, if you're just not a nice guy or not a great guy, or you have a really hard time getting women, or you want to say, oh, male loneliness epidemic or whatever, well, guess what? You have a solution. Yes, but wait, there's more. Make gold diggers great again. If your only thing that you offer at the table as a man is, hey, I can protect you because I'm big, strong man and I can provide for you. Well, nothing in there says like, oh, are we going to be good to each other? Are we going to like cheat on each other? Are we going to be nice to each other? Are you going to love me? Are you going to bring me flowers? I don't know. All of those other things that women actually do give a fuck about, I guess. So if you're going to lead with your wallet, you can't sit here calling women gold diggers and be upset about it. You are telling them what to do, sir. And the fresh and fit guys, Myron, they always say like, oh, women only want you for your money, whatever. But then you say, I want you to be submissive, and you like, I will protect and provide for you. So shut your mouth. Okay. But then you don't want a gold digger. You got to pick one. You got to pick your poison here. James coming in with the Big Ten says coffee first dates only. Treat it like an HR phone screen. If you don't click, not a big deal for either of you to walk. 110%. I say this all the time. If you go on a first date and you just met them like online, you don't know them personally or through friends or whatever, you haven't intermingled with them before, absolutely not. Hold on just a second. All right. Don't you just love children, especially when you're trying to work and you say, I'm going to work, stop. You cannot come down here. I'm working. They still don't get it. They don't, they think, and you know, I don't blame them because I'm just downstairs, right? I'm just downstairs, but they aren't grasping the concept that every time you interrupt me, you dismantle things that I have going on. Now, there are some times where it's okay, right? If I'm hosting a panel and you guys are paneling and doing your thing, I can step away for a second. But when I'm in the middle of a rant like this and it's so good, I can't be interrupted. I kid. All right. James says coffee first date. And yes, I've said this multiple times. I'm going to restart my whole rant. If you just met somebody online or referred in from a friend or met them at the bar or whatever, go grab a coffee first. Even if you met at a bar and you got numbers and whatever, and you want to go on a first date, just trade numbers and go meet up for coffee when you're both sober and you're not stupid and there's sunlight and daylight and bright light so you can see each other for sure. And then from there you go forward. Now, if it's somebody that is in your social circle and you've interacted and engaged with them, you know, more than 3 times and you really like them, go to dinner. Go to dinner. You already know you like them. You already know you click. You've already interacted and engaged. All right. Anywho, come down off that rant, move back to the other. Men want women to want them to be protectors and providers. So why not push the narrative to say, listen, ladies, I can't be the best guy in the world to you. I might not love you right. I might not love you well, or I might be a total douchebag, or I might sit around playing PlayStation or Game Boy or whatever on the weekends, absolutely not helping you at all around the house or with the kids, or you're going to get mad because I go and play basketball with my friends and I have gym time, but you don't, and yada, yada, yada. Then lead with your wallet. And don't get mad if somebody only marries you because of what's in your wallet. Okay. Number one, everybody's benefiting. You come in as a business transaction. You are now one company together. You are an entity. Okay. He's got the budget running for you, and you've got the HR and management system going. All right. So you're going to operate as a company, and if you come in with that knowledge, knowing damn well that okay, we may not be absolutely in love, but hey, he's providing for me, and I'm going to give him babies, or I'm going to make him sandwiches, or whatever we decide to do and how we decide to do it, fine. If it works out and it's mutually beneficial across the board, you can absolutely run that deal. And I think men should probably push that harder. Because isn't that how it used to work? Was it not? There's a whole dowry system going on, but the husband had to be somebody of status or have money or whatever. If the father was willing to hand his daughter over, it had to be a, you know, certain things, something. You bring me a cow. I don't know. It was all transactional before. Why are we making it all frilly and frou-frou now? Let him be a gold digger. I mean, we pulled up the definition, right? Gold digger definition. And this is just what pops up on Google. A gold digger is an informal, often derogatory term for a person, traditionally a woman, who initiates or maintains a romantic relationship, marriage, or association with a wealthier person primarily to gain money, gifts, or social status rather than for genuine affection. Does she have to love you to give you babies? Does she have to love you to marry you? Does she, I mean, some of these what are they called? Where they set it up? What is that word? Help me, chat. The word where they set up your marriage. I can't even think of it right now. Arranged marriages. Arranged marriages is purely transactional. I mean, maybe they fall in love later. That'd be cool. But that's not why they're getting married. They're getting married because the elders said, you and you will work and you will get married, make babies, and here's your plan. You're welcome. And they say, okay. You show up at your wedding day and go from there. Why can't that work for a gold digger or somebody who only marries you for financial benefits? Am I wrong? Isn't this how we ran this drill before? Get back to the old days, right? Mr. Farley coming in with a big 5 says, "Hi, Sarah. Hey, James." That's how, anytime I say hi to you in chat, this is how I feel. Hey, James. Like flirty little, I don't know, like cutesy. And Plumpy, of course, sending out one more Raging Tomato membership. A shout out to you. Congratulations to that lucky lottery winner. All right. Yeah. So I just don't think, I don't think we need to worry about love and mushy gushy bullshit anymore. If you want to destroy feminism, make gold diggers great again. Have men, work hard for their wealth and be, this is how it started. This is how it started. If you are a solid provider, the women would fight for you. Now it's the other way around. You have to impress us. Hello. You want us pining for you. You want us throwing ourselves at you. You want us beating the shit out of each other, trying to get your attention. Give us something that we can't do ourselves. Or give us some incentive, right? Because let me tell you what, if I was promised and guaranteed that there would be a poolside that I could lay by on the weekends with a margarita and my own nanny helping out every now and then, and I don't know, cooked meals done for me, I'd have blowjob central all day. You don't have to fucking I don't give a shit if you love me or not. Are you taking care of me and my babies? Is there a pool that we could play in? Like, fine. Blowjob. Any thoughts on that? I don't know. Feminism destroyed that system. It's quite possible. But I also think men stopped trying to be, and I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I'm just going to spitball everything. You go do whatever it is you feel you need to do. You're the man, right? But men stopped trying to, it was, how do I say it? It's like you stopped trying to impress us, or no, not that way around. It's like you, how do I say that? How do I say that? Because now you have to go and peacock for us. But it used to be us peacocking for you. Maybe it's because we don't need to peacock, right? We don't have to because we have OnlyFans, we have podcasters, we have social media. We just throw a picture up with us, I don't know, like felt cute, take a picture today. And you guys peacock. We don't even have to try. It like, oh, pussy. So what, like, I guess that's my question. Where was that turning point? Was it feminism that made you guys stop, or made you, I don't even know. I guess women, we're at that point where it's like, well, what else can you offer me besides money? Because and if the average man, I think the average man makes like what, $40,000-$50,000 a year, right? That's and I'm not shaming anybody, right? By any means, it's you can survive, or ish, but that's going to be a wife who also has to work and help, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. So if she marries you and you're not, you're not making 6 figures a year, she's got to love you. She has to love you, right? To give up comfort. I hear all the time, oh, like men love younger women. And I'm all for an older man and a younger woman. I'm all for it. I was the younger woman always. All right. I was always there. Not so much anymore. I just completely now we're balanced out. Like now I'm like, oh, it's actually we're right at the same age now. I got older and my age range slowly started coming down a little bit. But I'm all for it. I promote it. And this would actually incentivize this concept of gold diggers, right? Find a cute, I don't know, 19, 20, 21-year-old, maybe 21, so she can at least go and enjoy some wine with you. But find a cute 21-year-old who's bartending or waitressing, putting herself through school, or maybe she's not going to school. She wants to be a singer, an actor, whatever. It doesn't even fucking matter what the hell she's doing at this point. Find her, offer her, hey, I make 6 figures. I want babies and a wife. Here is what I can offer you. Right? 21, she doesn't know shit about love. She doesn't even want to fall in love. Right? A Texas bully mom. The matriarchy's kicking some butt tonight, but I think the boys are still up. Yeah, Locksmith Jeremy ensured you guys stayed up for the patriarchy, but Texas bully mom sending in the Big 10 just for lots of love. Lots and lots of love. Hi, Dad. Oh, Dad. Okay. All right. You know what? I love my dad. Grumpy Tomato in the house. He made his debut on Moderator Monday this past week. Super exciting time. Everybody in the chat loved him. And by the way, Dad, they are still talking about you. I'm still getting messages. I even was over on Dusty's panel last night, and quite a few people were talking about how awesome the Grumpy Tomato was, and that was really fun. So just so you know, you're kind of famous now, Dad. Now you got to own it. Start sending out some Grumpy Tomato autographs. All right? Here you go, Pops.
This message is sponsored in part by...
There you go, Dad. Just for you. All right. So Texas Bully Mom sends in another to help boost the matriarchy over here. Oh, I think the ladies might. Yeah, you should, Dad. You should be the Grumpy Tomato, and then we can collaborate once a week, and then you do your own thing, I do my own. You do Bible reading or something, and or maintenance, home maintenance for the average dude. It could work. James says with his membership, technology turned the marketplace global. They are no longer local markets. A woman snapping a pic on the gram has access to a lot more men. 100%. I am a global podcaster. I think my ratio is 60%. I think it's 60% the United States, and then the other 40% is around the world. I am a global podcast. I think that's really cool. I think a 60-40 split, that's not bad at all. That felt good. We do have a lot of Canadians too. That took up a little chunk there. But we're global, baby. And Iotin kicking off the matriarchy. Ladies might be in the lead. Ladies might be in the lead. Hold on, let's take a look. We got 5 from Saint, 25 from Locksmith. That's 30 for the boys. 10 for the girls. 40 for the boys. 45 for the boys. 20 for the girls. 30 for the girls. Oh, we're tied. We are tied. You guys have 5 more to figure out who's going to win this. Winner take all. Ooh, did I math that right? Okay. All right. So anywho, why would we be so upset to turn it back? And Feminism gave women the opportunity to make their own money. It gave them the opportunity for bank accounts, mortgages, yada, yada, to live individually without depending on a man. That's great and all, whatever. However, the men had to step up the game and kind of offer more in return for that, right? Like women have to want to be with you. We don't need to be with you, right? We don't need to be married in order to survive. We don't need to be married or with a man in order to pay our bills. We don't need to, right? But if you offer something rather incentivizing, e.g., home, lovely shit, I don't know. You could say lavish. I wouldn't even go as far as being lavish. I would even just say an easy life as far as not worrying. I think most women are on all of these medications and shit that they talk about, like the like mental health and stress and yada yada. I think it's because we have to worry about shit all the time. We're just always worried because we have to work, we have to take care of kids, right? And yeah, it would be great if we could just dismantle that. Anyways, make gold diggers great again. Texas Bully Mom says, fuck it, we are going to win. Did I miss Iotins? Did I miss that one? Did I miss this or was this from earlier? I believe that puts the ladies ahead. Can't type, but love y'all in chat, not ignoring you. It's all right, Bully. We know you're actually dancing half naked in your kitchen right now. You've got Pink Pony Club on in the background, and you're listening to my voice, and it's a mix of hell. Listen, one more margarita won't hurt. Keep going. I kid. And James says another near yellow super chat for you. Damn it. James, are you doing that thing where you don't want to open the panel up? Are you doing this on purpose? I could count it towards the goal, technically. Is that what you did on this other one? The 995. You little dick. You little dick. I love you guys. These individual characters in the chat just crack me up every time. IO10 says, you didn't miss mine. Wish I could be a gold digger, but I'm too successful at them. This is what I'm saying. See? Like she's doing her. The matriarchy is taking over our super chats right now. They're showing you why. They're showing you why they can do this. Are the men going to challenge the women on Super Chat Wars? You want to figure out who the gold keepers are? Go cut firewood, she's saying. What? Who's cutting firewood? Aw, thanks, Dad. So Mrs. Balderson. Mrs. Balderson, this is, my dad loves these compliments, right? He has 3 very successful, astute children. All 3 of us went very far in life. Okay. We did very well. And he's a proud papa. My Mama Tomato talks about this often too. It's not likely that all 3 of your kids are all going to do well, right? It's more likely you have like one drug addict or one person goes to jail or one person's doing this. There's always like the fuck ups, right? And the more kids you have, the more likely you're going to see that. But Mrs. Balderson says, Grumpy Tomato, it was a pleasure to meet you. You've done your job as a dad well. And he says this. He sends the credit back. He says, thank you, Mrs. Balderson. My daughter is self-made with minimal guidance and discipline as a youngster. He beats the living shit out of me. Sarah! I'm kidding. Dad, we were afraid of Dad. When Mama Tomato would she did it. Like she would have dinner. I swear Dad could like smell dinner from work because as soon as she put dinner on the table, dad pulled up, right? But the threat was when we got home from school and me and my brothers would start acting like assholes, the threat was just wait till your father gets home. Man, everything was going to be like tiptoeing on eggshells and glass and all of those things. Average debaters. Tell Tyler we love him and call him Knight, Sir Knight Tyler in the chat. Say that to him. Everyone type in Sir Knight in the chat so he can read that. Do that. Anyways, but we're supposed to be a little scared of that. Yeah, yes, and that's the only way to do it. And that's why I loved that dynamics between my mom and my dad, because mom was a little more lenient, right? And we knew. I love you guys. He's gonna get tickled pink when he sees that. Tyler, we love you. There she is. Speak of the devil, here she comes. Anyways, but my parents had a great dynamic between them, and mom was a little more lenient, and dad, like, you couldn't get away with shit. The beatings will begin. Yeah, no, he wasn't very hostile, not like that, but we were afraid. We were afraid of that loud voice, like not scream loud, but that loud voice that would come across the room when you knew you fucked up. And then this hand, the knife hand, Sarah, get your head out of your ass. Too many times, Sir Knight. Anywho, all right, we are 3 away. By within about 15 minutes, we'd be at that hour mark, and you guys would have already hit that dono goal, and the panel would be opening. Right? So what do we got to do? You know what to do. Number 1, hit the like button. It is free. Number 2, share this stream out with at least 3 people or 3 social media platforms, Discord, Instagram, X, Facebook, whatever. All right. Yeah, we did. We laughed pretty hard. When mama was going to get mad, like, and it was a wooden spoon too. Does anybody have like that one thing? It was a wooden spoon. I remember that fucker too. I should have named him, but she'd reach for it. We just, me and my 2 brothers just start laughing and like run around the house. Like, what do you do about it? You can't catch me. Huh? Can't catch me. But yeah. And then dad, Sir Father, would come home and everything stopped. And this is why it is important. I do respect the patriarchy, and I do recognize that that's a very important feature, having father at home and having mother at home. They are 2 different people, and they operate very differently. You need them both. But you want some incentive. You want to get her to be that sweet little housewife. Find a gold digger. As long as that money's there, she ain't going anywhere. She is not going anywhere. She knows where the money is. She knows what she has to do to keep it. She knows this. She's fully aware of it, and she's not going anywhere. Now, if she has her own money, right, and you have your own money, and combined, you know, or the amounts you make are around the same amount, or she can still survive on her own rate and whatnot, you're gonna have to be nice to her. Not nice like a nice guy. You're going to have to be a good guy. You're going to have to be a good man. You're not going to get away with a whole lot. Black pill confirmed on that one. James, damn it, James. We could have already had the goal by now if it weren't for James. Is this what I need to do, guys? I'm going to set my number just under $10. Just enough to not hit the goal. James likes to just sit here and listen to me talk. And James likes to tease me by withholding my panels. So you can all fix it. And you're just gonna have to send the yellows, guys. But James always likes to do this. I love you, James. I like that. Do you know why I like that? Because I still get essentially the $10, right? But you guys don't get your goal met yet. It works. How can I be mad at that? Texas Bully Mom with the big test says, panel, let's go. Please. There you go. Jonesby's got it. Shut the fuck up and get on your fucking knees, bitch, and suck it. And if you want this money, it's all transactional, guys. Literally, it's all listen, but she'd be more willing to do it if she's fully aware of where that money goes and disappears to if she doesn't. Make gold digging great again. What's wrong with it? Locksmith sending in the big $2 up on the super sticker. Thank you. I love Locksmith Jeremy's avatar. Tell you what, making your abominable snowman was I need to put like those up on the wall or something because they were just gold. Both. It is a very actually no. Let's run with it. It's a tiny cup, but I also have a tiny head. I'm a little person. Little person. All right. All right, you need two more dono goals and that link is yours, baby. I would like to talk about gold diggers and feminism and all of those things. Well, no, I'm actually pretty cold. I'm in the basement of my house and it stays pretty cold down here. I even have my little blanket with me. So yeah, but thank you. Thank you. I mean, maybe the lights are kind of helping to warm me up a bit. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll work. All right, two more donos and the panel's open. Who's going from Six Flags? It's from Six Flags over St. Louis back in 84-85. She was so fucking pissed. What? What did I miss? Hold up. Did your mom beat you with some kind of paddle from Six Flags? Is that what let me see if I can find the... Where is it? What am I missing? 2D. Dad says, poor Six Flags paddle. Did your mom beat your ass with a Six Flags paddle or something? I don't know. I'm not sure. Are you okay? Do you need a hug? I mean, I can just leave you to the whims of the mods. They are really excellent hunters. And when I say fire at will, they will. And they'll have fun with you. And you will be the food that they play with before they devour, sir or ma'am. I'm assuming based on your avatar, you're a sir. But I haven't given them the word yet. So if you'd like to have fun and hang out in the chat, we gladly welcome you. You don't have to be mean to anybody. And you don't have to be mean to the content or whatever. I mean, we have roast sessions. Don't worry. That is coming. But overall, the guard dogs in the chat do very well. So you have two options here, 1 and 2, okay? You can either play nice and hang out with the chat and have a good time. We have a lot of different topics that we run every Monday, Thursday, and sometimes on the weekends. We host a large debate platform. Lots of people enjoy getting on the panels here. All right. And you are more than welcome to join panels too. However, you will not disrespect me or my chat or my content or my people. You can either stay and play or fuck off. All right. And my mods will ensure that you fuck off if you can't stay and play nice. All right. Okay. Nicholas is having a grand old time. Yeah. Play nice. Play nice. That fucking spoon, man. Someone got his ass whipped with a Six Flags paddle. Poor guy. My mom broke a cake spoon on my shoulder, then blamed me. Grandma she's mean though. She is she was mean. Okay. All right, here we go. Texas bully mom ain't fucking around. The matriarchy is currently in the lead. Girls rule, boys drool. Who's going to do it? Let's see. Let's add them up and see where we're at. I believe the girls are in the lead. 5, 30. Let's just do all the guys first. 40, 45, 55, 65. Okay, 65 for the guy. Oh, wait. Yeah, 65, 66, 67, just in case. There it is. James fucking hates my goals. He hates them. He absolutely hates them. All right. Enter the pit of hell. There you go. There's your StreamYard link. Enjoy. Place pin. Actually, let me put it in all of them. So you're going to see it pop up again. Enter the pit of hell. You're going to see it pop up again, but that's just the way I can ensure it goes to all of the different platforms. All right. Panels open. You may start joining now. Hit the link, come up, tell me whether you think gold diggers is a good idea or not. I mean, it's kind of essentially the patriarchy, right? Am I saying anything that's actually wrong, or am I just putting new terminology to it? Am I just making it more concise in terms of what men should be okay with? And I still don't understand the idea that men say, I'm a protector, I'm a provider, and then get mad when someone says, I only want you for your money. Did you want her to be in love with you? I don't get it. Why? Like, do you want the blowjob, or do you like want me to? What do you want? You got to figure that one out. It just doesn't make any sense. You either lead with your wallet or you don't. Pick one. Anyways, all right. Panel's open. Who's joining? Who do we got in the chat, actually? Mrs. Balderson would be an interesting one to have on this topic. Iotin, because you have a boyfriend too. I'd like to know your thoughts on what you look for in a relationship. We have Mr. Balderson backstage. Tootie, I believe you are in a, you know what, I won't actually say anything because I don't know what you've said publicly or not, but yeah, so I'll leave that one there. I know Iotin said it here on the chat live. So Zers, who else we got? Who else? Tyler, I know Admiral Gibbs will be here probably in the next 15 minutes. You guys wanted the panel. Oh, Neo's in chat. Are you jumping on tonight? I know you are very familiar with the red pill department. What are we angry about today? Who else we got? Just trying to see who's all in the chat. And I believe... Sorry, I'm just looking. It's quiet. Oops. There we go. All right. Well, you know what? I like Mr. Balderson, so I'm going to actually bring him up because I wouldn't mind just talking to him by myself. Here we go. Hello, Mr. Balderson. How are you this evening? Oh, you are still muted, sir. Hi, kitty kitty.
Can't complain. It's been pretty excellent week.
You know, good. You would actually be the best person I could talk to, because how long have you and Mrs. Balderson been married?
8 years
together.
8 years.
Yeah, we've been together almost 10. I think
We got
I saw
married
on
in
the internet.
2020. So
I think we've been together almost 10 now.
yep.
Long time.
That's a pretty long time. Now, when you first met Mrs. Balderson, did you think to yourself, did you think I'm going to provide for her and protect her, or maybe later on in the dating relationship? I'm not sure the details of your meeting and entanglement, but did you sit there and say, like, I've got work to do to ensure that she will always be taken care of? Or was it lovey-dovey, I love her and she loves me? Or like, what were your thoughts entering into that relationship and accumulating throughout the years?
When we first, she was actually in a bit of a bind when we first started dating, and had a trouble with her housing situation, and we were working together. Neither of us was actually employed, but she was Christy used to be a massage therapist, and so she was renting a spot in a place, and I was selling my crystals and jewelry there.
Mm-hmm.
And so she came into work and was having problems, and I said, well, it's nothing special, but I've got an extra Winnebago out at my place, and we can run you out a power line to it, and you can share the kitchen with us, because we had I stayed in a Winnebago, and my kids stayed in I had built a little shack for them, and then we had another shack that we used for a kitchen, and then like a breezeway in between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, come on, how did she get in here?
I don't know. Come here, Scotty.
What is there? A giant cow walking in the room?
Oh, the two female dogs that if they're in heat, they don't get along, and ended up in here. So Christy moved in, and honestly, that's always been something, and especially when you live like we do. I totally understand what you're saying right now for city people, but when we live like we do, even now, this is something that's a huge factor in my thinking. Like, if I was to pass away tonight in my sleep for no apparent fucking reason, can Christy take care of herself and take care of what needs to be on the farm? And that's a problem. And honestly, every guy I know that lives like this, even ones I don't particularly like, if they care about their wives at all, that is a huge thing on their mind. Christy doesn't know how to service a generator. She doesn't know how to keep the water system running. She doesn't know how to do the electrical. She doesn't know how to keep the vehicles running, and we live basically off.
Is that how you keep her tied to you? Just don't teach her the shit she needs to know.
Can't leave.
I swear that's why my dad will never teach me how to change my oil, because I always said, Dad, my oil needs to be changed. You know, like, can you teach me? He's like, oh, I got it. And he would just do it for me. But I swear that's how he just kept me dependent.
Exactly. Well, and I don't know that Christy could even actually do a lot of the things that I do. She just doesn't have the physical strength that it takes to do a lot of the things. And that, again, does not apply to a lot of people in the city. But on any given day, like just this fucking monster, which I use a couple times a week.
That thing's bigger than her.
Yeah, it is. And after that, I got to pick up those logs, go haul them around, go split them. The like stupid things, like a couple weeks or maybe a month ago, we were loading up some bulls, and the guy that we were loading them up with didn't know what he was doing, and he reached out and he smacked a bull, and he tried to smack it in the ass.
That
and
was stupid.
smacked it right in the nuts. And that bull turned around, and I've known that bull his whole life, and I've never seen him look like that. He turned around pissed, and he came up. There was one week I wasn't hardly on any panels. Well, the bull threw me up in the air like 15 feet, and I landed sideways across a damn angle iron and cracked 2 of my ribs. And you know, Christy just can't do things like that, or fence post pounding, fence post shooting. Like there's a million jobs, but the thing is these guys crying around, they don't do this shit either.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Like,
I was hoping we could kind of extract a lot of other actual pieces out of this while doing this, and you just laid it out so perfectly for me. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah,
but if you could just I don't know, give her the life of absolute bliss, never having to, I mean, it sounds like she doesn't have to worry about a whole lot, right? If you're managing everything around the yard and the cows or goats and the this and the that, like, but if you were able to provide her a way where even if you did unfortunately pass in the evening, and she wouldn't have to worry about that stuff because there's a huge insurance fund and yada, yada, yada. And then there's a giant bank account where she could just pay helping hands to come take care of the rest for you. You know, even if you hurt yourself, right? Would you feel better being able to offer that to her than like to say, okay, if I die tomorrow, it's going to hurt. Right.
Okay.
You're going to be fucked and you're going to have to figure this one out.
Yeah, no, I would feel a million times better if I was sure that my life was set up in a way where if I wasn't in it, Christy could still easily handle it. And I do work very hard to try and work toward that situation. But then at the same time, Christy and I are living this life of where we're working together towards self-sufficiency, where if the system collapses, and I know that everybody out there this is something on their mind, that this system is not doing well. Right. And if it collapses, I would also like a life that I don't notice that much. Sure, maybe like the internet's gone and other little frilly things are gone. I lived most of my life without those things. It's okay. You know, as long as she easily has heat, food, water, and a shelter, well, then she's going to be all right. She's going to be all right. And then obviously, you know, and I have thought about it before, because actually I think last year, I got super sick for like 6 months last year. I lost probably 30 or 40 pounds. I just couldn't eat. I was super sick. And this was a problem. And at the end of the day, Christy could sell the farm and sell everything on it. We own everything here. I don't have any loans on any of my property or
that's beneficial. Yeah.
Well, that is one of the things. And here's a thing that guys, if you are looking for that trad wife, that woman who's going to come in and basically, and I don't even say this with like disparagingly, Christy is basically my mom figure. Like, you know, she's not my mom, but she does all the things that a mom would have done for me. That, you know, she takes care of my stuff. She cleans the house. She cooks the food. If I feel like shit, she comes up and gives me a little kiss. And yeah, and that's what every dude should be after, is a loving mother. Is the way I refer to it. She is the loving mother figure. But the thing is you don't get that if you aren't the man. All these things that these guys want, number one, most of these guys today, and I get into raging arguments, they want to sit and play video games. And they're like, oh, video games are okay, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? If you're doing that, you aren't out living life. You're sitting in a fucking basement watching a TV somewhere, same as anybody else, and getting caught up in it. It's one of my big things with like Andrew. Andrew has very, very elaborate opinions on newer video games and anime and shit. Fuck you, you're manly. The fuck you are, bro. That's why your arms are doughy and your wrists and your forearms are the same size. The fuck you are. And
you know what the most, and I'll just add on to that for a moment, if I may. The most attractive thing, well, one of many, but for me, a man with manly hands is incredibly attractive. But men with that, you're right, where the wrist is like flubby, right? And their hands are soft and they have longer nails and they don't have if I have more callus on my hands than you, there's a fucking problem, right? If my hands
that's as nice as my hands get.
That's hot to me, right?
Yes, agreed.
But yeah, like you can tell whether a man is a fucking man based on his hands.
Yeah.
That hands down, pun intended. But and so yes, you are correct in that narrative, sir. But I'll let you keep going. The game boys and soft hands.
Yeah, you don't own your home. You sit around playing video games, and then what you're asking. So you've got to consider what you're asking the woman. And what you're asking her to do is put herself at an extraordinarily vulnerable position, because she's not providing for herself. She's dependent on you, like you were talking about earlier. And this is a very vulnerable position. And if you cannot be trusted to be the person that's going to take care of that and be reliable every day, why the fuck would she put you in that position? So my opinion of what the epitome of man is the caretaker. And you start that journey as a young man with like a dog. And if you're a guy that treats his dog well and his dog loves him and is super loyal, and then you move on and you start taking on more responsibilities, you start having a home and a farm. This is the steps that men are supposed to take, where not just women, but the society around you starts respecting you and starts looking to you like, hey, this guy's got his shit together. He runs a whole farm, and everything around him cares about him and is well taken. Maybe his opinion is one we should listen to. And these guys don't want to build up to that shit. They want to talk about, oh, I want to build a home with my wife and stuff. Part of the reason that things went the way they did with Christy and I is because I owned everything when she moved in. This was my home.
But so essentially, and I don't mean gold digger in a derogatory way, the way we typically look at it, but she could very well have been more entrusting because you were already stabilized and you allowed her and said, look, like, you're in a situation, I got a fix for it. Problem solution. That's sexy. Okay. And to her, that's like, oh, okay. And then you probably turned out to be a really great guy. And then she fell in love with you. And now she's, now she makes your sandwiches and kisses your boo-boos.
Exactly. Makes my whole home life wonderful. I go out and I fight the world. I come home and it's all good. This is my safe spot. And that's because she makes that safe spot for me.
Aww. The comfort, like not coddling in a bad way, but like, okay, I went and I did my really rough, hard day and it was shitty and I got tore up and my body hurts. And then to walk in the door and it's like,
right here. She sees me coming. Here's my fucking stein of hot cocoa.
Aww.
And that's what I like. And she gets all my stuff for me. And now I get to sit and quit fighting. The fight's done for today. She's gonna make me ready for it again tomorrow.
And the R&R, like rest, relaxation, all of the beautiful things that come with a marriage, and you get to just enjoy your peace for the evening.
Yep. Because the thing is, I was gonna do all this. I was already doing all this for me. I already owned my own place. I already had my animals. All this, but I didn't have that's the whole thing, is the man builds the home, creates the space, and then the woman's the one that fills it. She's the heart of it. She's the one who makes it loving. Because dudes, like when she moved in, my house was Spartan as fuck. I literally didn't own a single piece of furniture. I sat on 5 days.
This is the one thing about men I love, where it's like, so you go in, a lot of people take a dig at men for this, and I applaud it, right? You walk into like an apartment of a single dude that's 25, whatever, 24, 25, and he has a TV on the floor and a maybe on a box, right? Maybe on a box. And then a lawn chair and his video game, right? And then you got in your kitchen, you have like a stool and you have one pot, one pan, a couple utensils kind of ish mismatched, some plates your mama gave you, and in your bedroom you got a mattress on the floor and a cover and sheets, and then in the bathroom you have a roll of toilet paper, toothpaste, and a toothbrush, and whatever his shaving needs and things like that, and that's about it. And
That's it.
that's what I love, because you guys are need based. It's like, well, why do I need a big couch? I'm not sitting around, laying around. Like, if I do sit inside, it's because I want to relax, maybe play a game, watch a movie, but like, I'm not lounging. I'm not having a bunch of company over. You know, I'm not, if I want to have company, I'll go out and have company somewhere else where somebody else provides that atmosphere. Even down to the bedroom, it's like, oh, and there's a drawer, right? Like there's a solid dresser somewhere in there. Whereas women, we are nesters. This is we feel naturally comfortable in our home, but we want to nest it. We want to make it comfortable to be in. We want it to be beautiful in a place where it accentuates our beauty, right? And this is we naturally do this. This is why we even go through that nesting phase when we're I mean, it's a real fucking thing. I couldn't tell you how many bedrooms I painted when I was pregnant with my youngest. I was like, just redo all of it. I want new colors, you know. But yeah, and that makes sense. But that's funny that you say that, because that's a lot of men get shit on for that, and I actually think they should be applauded. Hi, Gibbs.
Well, hey, folks, we doing all right?
What's up, Admiral Gibbs?
You look lovely, as always. Our pimp master Gibbs.
Yes.
Always pulling in the royal purple colors and the vest, the tie. He always gets dressed up for the evening. And
yeah, you know,
Thursday night. He takes his job seriously, and I should commend you for that. Mr. Gibbs, gold diggers, good or bad?
Yeah, let me just turn my sound on my end here. Yeah, it's a good thing if you're a tradcon. If you aren't a tradcon, then maybe it's a bad thing. But if you are a tradcon, then you believe in gold diggers, because it's crazy to me that I hear on all these panels, specifically a lot of the red pill, but even in the tradcon community here, people want to bitch about gold diggers. Listen, I'm not really a tradcon guy, but I have been bitched about gold diggers before, because, you know, you go out and you don't want to like be only wanted for your money. But if you're going to use money as like something that's an attraction to women or as like quality, then, you know, you can't be surprised that you have gold diggers. And if you are a tradcon, then you believe in what? Providing for your woman, right? You want them to come be a stay-at-home woman. You want them to have lots of babies. You want them to go to church. You want to give your 10% in tithing, and you want them to sit at home and be your trophy wife and all these things, and have dinner ready for you so you don't have to give them the backhand when you get home and all that good jazz, right? Like, listen, when we're doing this, that means you're having to work your ass off, and to some extent, that means they're gold digging, because they're giving up them working. So they're literally there because you can provide. And if you don't like that, well, then I guess you're not really tradcon. You don't really believe in providing for your woman. I'm a little confused when people are saying this. Now, if you're coming from it from a typical modern male, feminists, men or women are equal and both can get their nut or get their nut off however they want, then yeah, maybe you could be mad about gold diggers. But if you're a traditional conservative, then you shouldn't be, and I think you should be embracing it.
All right, Balderson, any thoughts to add to that?
Yeah, I would actually agree on it. I mean, I would say that there's a slight differentiation between, we're obviously kind of displacing the word gold digger, but the fact is if you expect a woman to be reliant on the things that you provide, I'm not sure what other space that they're looking for here. Like, if they want you to look to you to look to them for that, then that's the person you're gonna get. That's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm. That's what you attract.
Yeah.
You attract what you're throwing out there. So let me ask you guys this. Do you think that relationships at the core of it are transactional? You're muted, Gibbs.
I do want to add something to that. Like, yeah, I think they are transactional. But like, okay, I personally, you know, in my life, I've preferred, you know, women my age or a little older my whole life, right? And I have men that are my age now that you go out. So I'm 35. I'll go out to the club and I'll see them with like a fresh 21-year-old and all this stuff. And then, men are like, then I can see women that are my age mad. They're like, oh, he's a pedo talking to these young chicks or whatever. When they were that age, they were doing the same thing. Right. And I think that's kind of, rich. But I think it's interesting because at some point they're kind of, these women, these younger women specifically are just 21, 22. They're going out with these older men because why? Because they're established and they potentially want this idea of, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to be this guy's wife. You're going to have kids and then I might not have to work. Maybe I don't have to finish my degree, et cetera, et cetera. And I think a lot of these people that were women, at least, are like, have made their money are now like, I have my money. Why aren't these men like me? Why would they still prefer this gold digging 22-year-old over me who's making, 100K a year as a woman? Well, it's because, I don't want to deal with your ass. If I'm making all the money, I can fucking, I can argue with her. I can be, oh, you want to go get your Gucci purse? Maybe you shouldn't have asked me earlier. And then I fucking cut off the funds, and it's like, it's a give and take. And I think that's something that people are missing in the like current dynamic in regards to dating. I don't know. And what was your first question there was the
transactional.
Transactional. Yeah. So I definitely think relationships are transactional, especially the good ones, because it's like a give and take. Like, Valentine's Day. Oh, I know you like carbonara. What are we gonna do? Well, I'm gonna make fucking lobster fucking carbonara for Valentine's Day. Oh, just because I know you'll like it. And then hopefully I get my dick sucked after. It's like it's really that simple. But people don't want to act like that. And they go, oh, well, that's vulgar. But hey, if you're not getting your dick sucked in your relationship, I'll tell you what, that lady doesn't love you. It's pretty simple, or whatever the equivalent is for you. Maybe they don't give head. Maybe they do something else. Who knows?
Well, okay, but yeah, I mean, if you don't give her the lobster, though, right, and you give her like a card, even though you know that or something as simple as she loves daisies. Why? She buys daisies all the time for herself. She talks about it, this, that, another. Like, I love daisies. I love daisies. And then you show up with like a tulip, right? And it's like, it's these little simple things that women think of that men try to get away with not thinking of it and then just half-assing it. And then it's like, well, this is why you're not getting your dick sucked, because you did something that I specifically said, I don't like. I hate tulips or whatever the case may be. Right. That would be a reason why you wouldn't get your dick sucked.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be the Ritz, say there's been times when I'm like, oh, okay, I'm broke this month or whatever, or I've invested too much in something or whatever. I didn't have the money. And it's like, okay, I'm going to go out of my way to do something. With a lot of women, even if they are gold diggery, if you do something that shows you put effort in, you could get away with it sometimes. Now, if you are dating, this is maybe a problem. If you're dating like a girl that's a supermodel, like attractiveness, and I don't know many people here are, but if you are, and she's used to wearing, Prada every night, or Gucci, then yeah, you're expecting that's going into that is there's going to be some maintenance to be required with this. Now, maybe she just does go head over heels and doesn't care, and she's willing to leave her fucking princess life and live in the trailer park with you. I don't know, but I'm probably willing to bet that's going to be rarer than it is going to be the norm.
But then you would have to compensate in other ways.
Yeah, like have a big dick, right? That would be my assumption.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That, or you have to be the person that goes all of those extra efforts. Maybe not monetarily, but somebody who always remembers this little thing or always does that or always, you have to, if you don't have the money, then you got to make it in other ways, especially for a lady who is a supermodel and can, walk into any building and walk away with whatever, anything.
Well, I saw a TikTok, and then I'll turn it over to Walsh or somebody real quick. This is today. The guy was yelling at his woman, and she started yelling back, and she goes, "Listen, you can't get mad when I act like a princess when you made me used to princess treatment." And he was like, Well, that's a good point. And then he just kind of shut up. He's like, "You're right." To some extent, that's true, but you're also within reason. I mean, I think everything's within degrees. Obviously, if you marry a pure gold, even then, let's say I'm rich and I'm 95 and I want to have one more kid that I don't want to deal with. Maybe I go, what was that bitch that was his name? Anna Nicole Smith or whatever. Maybe I go marry Anna Nicole Smith or whatever, pop out another kid at 95 and then die and leave all my money to her instead of my other ex-wives. At that point, cool. It's been
God, I really missed the jump on. I was too young during that time. If not, I would have been right up there with Anna. Fuck it.
I'm saying.
Fuck it.
Shit, I got long hair. Maybe I'll throw some lipstick on and pretend. I don't fucking know.
Lumberjack Landlord, hello, sir. How are you? Sends in the Big Ten, says a high value woman knows her worth. If she is that high value woman, she gets what she wants and she needs, or I know she would move on. Being a high value man, I listen to try to meet her needs. But what if she's not needy? Now, that's the question I ask back to you, because I like to consider myself to be not very materialistic, but I am needy in other ways. Like, I require lots of conversation. Okay. Just ask any man who's ever dated me. Oh, here she comes. She's like, fuck this shit. I'm out. I knew she was going to have something to add. I knew you.
No,
were.
you finish your thing and then I'll add.
Okay. But like, not every woman needs $1 million. Not every woman needs Gucci. I absolutely don't like a whole lot of, I don't know, high name stuff, because to me, I look at a t-shirt as like, why would I spend $100 on a fucking t-shirt that I'm going to run through the washer and dryer? That's stupid to me. So in the material world, I am definitely not a material girl. All right.
Well, you wouldn't put a $100 t-shirt through the washer dryer. That's your first problem.
Either way, is a fucking t-shirt. I'm probably going to spill something on it anyways, and then I'll be upset. I just don't look at clothes as valuable, right? To me, they're not. It's a t-shirt. I sweat in it. I stand in it, and then I clean it and put it back on. It's not I'm not a fashionista. My daughter, totally different, but she's also an inexpensive shopper. I'll add that in. She knows better. But so if a woman doesn't have that material need and she has other needs, then being high value can be subjective depending on what girl you're talking to. And I have a feeling Mrs. Balderson's going to really throw that one home, maybe. Go ahead, Mrs. Balderson.
Yeah, I'm obviously not a materialist person. I live in a shack in the woods, and I love it that way, and I wouldn't have it any other way. For me, there's so much more value in safety, the safety that he provides, the confidence that I have in knowing he is who he says he is, the trust that I have in him. He demonstrates how important I am to him all the time by going out and putting his body on the line to make my life what it is. And I have a beautiful life. He busts his ass every year so I can have a giant garden and grow as much of our food as we can. And I love that. That makes me happy. But he's hauling loads and loads and loads of dirt and lots of different kinds of animal poop. And he's doing a lot to make sure that I have that. And he still does try to do like sweet little gifts here and there. It's my birthday or it's Christmas. And I appreciate that. But like, for me, take me with you when you're going to town to go run groceries, and take me to the spot that we stop at halfway in the redwoods and let me look for rocks in the riverbed. And that'll make me happier than buying me flowers any day.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's subjective to the lady.
It really is.
I think it's subjective to both. If you watch The Dark Knight with the Heath Ledger's Joker, we've all seen it.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite scenes is gonna maybe be bad when I say this, but one of my favorite scenes is the scene where he's in the club and he's whooping that ass, and then before he's whooping that ass, it's what's his name, Salvatore Salvione or whatever his name is, Sal, right? And he's talking to his wife. And she goes, "Can we go somewhere else? I can't hear you talk." And he goes, "What makes you think I want to hear you talk?" And like he says this, and she's just like, "What?" And he's like, "The whole reason is because it's transactional. He clearly made a gold digger that's vapid. And I know this is a movie, and is not going to ask about his crime connections, and he doesn't want to hear her talk. And she's probably mostly okay with that because he's wasting a bunch of money. So it's all situational, right? Like like Mrs. Balderson just brought up a good point. It's the little things for them. My ex-wife, we have a lot of problems, and I won't talk shit about her on the internet, but I will give her credit for one good thing, is that she was not a gold digger, right? It was the little things for her that mattered quite a bit, right? And so, it's good to, be able to, make those. Let's use someone that was like, okay, I don't care how much money you have. Money is convenient. It's nice. And that's something you should look for in each relationship. Each relationship is different. But if you are a tradcon, I think that gold diggering is kind of inherently going to be a thing that you have to deal with if you profess to be a tradcon. I mean, I don't, but I think it's something. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over for you.
Okay. I was going to say, if I had it to do all over again, if I could talk to young me, I would not have married. This is obviously my marriage before Ben. I would not have married a man who did not find value in a stay-at-home mom.
Oh.
that would be, and to me, if that makes me a gold digger, that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, then I'm a gold digger.
Right. Well, because you viewed your value as being a wife and a mother. That's where you found your value in that.
That's what I always wanted to be since I was a little girl. I always knew that I wanted to be a mom more than anything else. And I wanted to be a lot of things. I wanted to be an astronaut and an Olympic gymnast and a fighter jet pilot. And, you know, I had a lot of lofty goals, but I wanted to be a mom and a wife more than anything else.
That's fair. I think that's that was my mom was like that too. She said, all I want to do is just be with my kids and be at home with them and do for them. Like she loved it. She loved it. She still would love it to this day. If we all just lived with her, maybe not so much. She's enjoying her peace and quiet now, but she loved being mom. That's why we can look back and I can say my mom was at literally every single thing that me and my brothers had going on, every sporting event, every trophy award, every school award, every celebration, everything, you name it, she was there. I couldn't look back and find a single one ever that she wasn't there for, but that's what she wanted. That's what made her feel accomplished and happy, and she loved being mom. She loved her babies, 110%. She was a great mom. Lumberjack Landlord said the Big Ten says your need ... or love language is quality time.
It is.
It's gifts, others it's words of affirmation. You are high value because you are smart, attractive, and add value in your ability to converse about it all. My love language is actually actions. That's my biggest thing. If you can take stuff out of this brain and initiate getting those things done so that when I go and I'm running my shit, like if I can actually look and be like, I know you can do that and you've already done it and I don't have to come back and double check it, I'm a happy camper. I have a long list every day of shit that I have to do. And so if somebody takes even something as simple as, hey, I brought you a coffee this morning. Like I went out and I bought your favorite, even though I love my one single little pot making, like old school Black & Decker coffee pot. And I pour the coffee in and I pour the water in and I make it and it drips and all those things. I'm perfectly content with plain coffee. But for somebody to go get up before me and go out of their way to go and get my favorite chai tea latte that I don't treat myself with often, and to bring it back and wake me up with a Boston eclair and a chai tea latte, like that makes me super fucking happy. All right. And food gets me every time. Gibbs.
I like food. Food's good. My ex-wife would do. I'll give her another piece of credit. Right. I have a favorite cookie called a ginger crinkle, which is like a holiday cookie. It's not a ginger snap. Anyway, sorry, but she's allergic to cinnamon, right? And there's a cinnamon in it, and she would like be dying. I'd walk in, and I'd be like EpiPenning her. She'd be making the cookies, and I'm like, oh well, this is a very nice gesture, right? Like I like that. You're like dying, literally. Cookie. Maybe you should stop, and I'll make the cookie. You just buy the ingredients, but like you know, it's the gestures. These are big things. I think that you're right about that. Also, we get if we want, there's a guy in my chat, IPA Light. He's a family counselor. He might be interested to join here in a bit when it goes open.
Yeah, but you can drop that. It is open. We are open.
Oh, perfect. Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, drop that link in your chat too. The more the merrier.
Right now, I think that the acts is it's like I said, it's every one of these is situational. I think that's important to factor in. But I do have a real problem whenever like these red pill guys go and like I had this debate the other night on Wix. Right, it was basically. Okay, this guy goes, hey, well, you know, the red pill's bad. And I gave him the example of Andrew Tate telling the guy, hey, if you're going to kill yourself, wait till after you get a six-pack. And the guy goes, oh, well, now women want me. And after he got the six-pack, lo and behold, it worked. But I think there's a problem where the red pill goes, oh, we want XYZ, we want to be the provider. But then they, at the same time, be like, oh, I don't like gold diggers. And I mean, I'm sure there's a line where there's like, okay, this is what I'm talking about, gold digger. And this is what I'm talking about, oh, I want to be a trad wife. But like they're never really clear on what that line is, and I think that's an issue.
Right. Sarcastic Saint says, Mrs. Balderson, teach Sarah how to be a real woman.
I don't think I have anything to teach her there.
Oh, Mrs. Balderson is quite the lovely lady, and I hope that more young ladies aspire to be that mother and wife that she is, and that especially how you present with Ben. It's always adorable when you two are paired up together and you're by his side on the screen and all of those things. You guys make my little heart melt, and I believe in love once more. And then I turn the camera off and I go to bed, and then I think, love stinks. Fuck this.
Pick well. That's like, I don't care whether you're a man or a woman, pick well. Know what you want. Know what you want to be, and pick accordingly. Don't settle for less than what you want, and be the person that somebody is going to want.
Yeah.
Man or woman, be the person that, don't sell yourself out. Don't not be you, but look at yourself critically. Decide what changes you need to make. And that's a lifelong process. It's not a one and done. You got to constantly keep revamping, but be the person that's lovable and that brings, we all bring something to the table. Whoever's going to be the table, whatever, but
blowjobs.
Something to the table, make it worthwhile, and work hard at loving the person that you've chosen. And I don't know, you're all going to have bad days, but make their day. I don't know.
That's fair. Now, Mrs. Balderson, do you think relationships are transactional at its core?
Of course they are. I mean, I would hope for most people that there's more involved than just transactions. But of course it's transactional, and each couple decides what that transaction is. And it may not be money, you know, it can be very, for us, it's more the services that we provide each other. I handle everything inside. I make the house, the home. I cook, I clean, I keep everybody's stuff straight and make sure that everyone knows what's going on. But he makes sure that my world functions. Everything that I can do in here works because he makes the rest of it function. I couldn't do that without him, and he could absolutely do everything without me. He wouldn't be as happy. His life wouldn't be as peaceful, and
he wouldn't be walking in to a nice big mug of hot cocoa ready and hot for him. He'd have to go make that himself,
which takes 2 seconds. So I mean,
2 seconds too long. Should have had it hot when I came in.
Well, I'm just saying, how hard is it for me to make something that takes 2 seconds and makes him so happy?
But Mrs. Balderson, it's the fact that you make it for him. It's made with love. You make it.
I think it's also guys won't do that. Like I like, you know, women make fun of guys all the time. They'll come in, they go have like the lawn chair in front of a TV and the Xbox and the computer. It's because men are like happy with like a very, like, even the richest guy in the world, you know, they get home decorators come make this shit because they just don't give a shit about this stuff, right? Like, and it's like the little things, like we don't even know what we're missing because it just wouldn't occur to us to be like, hey, I can make hot cocoa right now. Like, I've never had that thought once in my life, but you know, someone comes out, hey, I got you hot cocoa, I'm gonna be like, oh, you know, like, I think, like, you know, it's kind of like that. I don't know. And you brought up the transactional. This is why homosexuals exist. I can't tell you how many fucking supermodel women are dating bums with 3 felonies that go from house to house and live with them just because they're good in the sack. Like, that's literally a thing. Like, it's all transactional. It just depends on what's important to you. And some of these end up being good relationships. Most of them don't. But, you know.
You know, that said, earlier you had talked, though, about women who may not necessarily love you. And more power to those kind of women. But I could not be in a relationship with a man that I did not love and respect. And I certainly don't ever want sex to be a transactional, like, I'm obligated, I need to bear children, you know, I have to go do this. That's not how I want my life to be. I want to have mad respect and mad love for the human being that I share my life with. That's me.
Yeah, she's not just giving me sex. She gets off like a rocket. She's having her own damn good time.
Yeah, you made her red, Ben.
Mrs. Balderson, ouch.
Oh, Ben, you embarrassed her. Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Balderson. When I was married, I got my rocks off quite crazy as well. I was like a rocket ship flying to the moon, reverse cowgirl, blowjob central, all of those fun things. I hope Dad's not still in the chat. I think he left already. I just realized that. I was like, wait, I saw him in the chat earlier, but I think he's gone. I'm pretty sure he's gone. Anyways, but there's nothing to be shy about. That means that, you know what, though? I think at the end of the day, the happy wife, happy life concept starts in the sack.
100%.
I just had this conversation today, and I think that if you dick her down, she's going to make you all the fucking sandwiches in the world.
You damn straight.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I see as the avatar Dionysus, I quickly got this to turn into a very provocative conversation.
It's that silky purple, you know. It just brings it out.
Well, you know, Mardi Gras is coming up, and as the avatar, the god of wine, tits, and madness, I thought I should start working on my fucking Mardi Gras fits. Get some beads.
Mardi Gras is actually wasn't that whole thing based off of a Christian concept?
Listen, so was a lot of the bullshit like Day of the Dead. But you know what the Catholics did real good? They came in there, they adopted local customs. They're like, hey, that's really Jesus. And then they brought him in, and then they killed all the Aztecs. But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is I like tits, and Mardi Gras is good for that.
And as a kind reminder to the audience, the panel is open. You are most welcome to join at any time. Feel free to hit that link that I've dropped in the chat. We'd love to have you. I find a disagreement with me on this, Gibbs. I think you were already in your economics debate earlier when I started. My theory was that if more women acted like gold diggers and men treated them as such, feminism would go away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't say that again. If men
treated women like gold diggers, right, in a good way, and women acted like gold diggers in a good way, that would feminism wouldn't need to exist, because women would now be fighting for men, okay, and men would not be in this male loneliness epidemic. Women would not be wanting to work, because why try to work when I can go out and fight my way into somebody else's wallet, right?
Maybe. I think there's definitely good and bad gold diggers, right? But I think that this is important. I think
we're assuming they're all good.
Sure. Okay, let's just assume they're all good. But I mean, I know we've talked about this before, and I think it's like kind of a skill issue thing, right? For me, right? Like, it's a get good scrub. And I think the problem with today, I think this is all tied up with the red pill, but to some extent, in this part of the red pill is the answer to a question, but I don't know if it's the answer, but it's a answer, right? And I look at it and we're talking about the male loneliness epidemic. And I think a lot of that is due to this like coddling, this participation trophy mentality where everybody's special. No, you're not all special. Not all of you get to date the supermodel. Some of y'all get to, like, for example, I'm a big boy. I got some money. I may be in my prime. If I'd stayed sexy Gibbs from college, I could be going dating Carmen Electra in her prime everywhere. But no, I can't. I can date a 10, but they're probably fucking insane, right? Now if I go date a 7 or a 7 or 8, I could probably date a 7 or 8 and then them be normal. But it's like, if you aim high, you have to know what you're getting. And these people expect to be going and fucking Sydney Sweeney whenever they really should be fucking Helga the Heifer. Like, I think that's a big problem that we have going on, is false expectations of what people are going to get, and that causes the male epidemic, I think, is like partially. So, like, maybe it would cause the gold digging to go away, but I feel like there's always going to be like malicious influence people, like, no matter what. I just don't know how you get around. Some people will just be like outright succubuses, but like there's going to be men that are the same way. Like, I just don't.
But essentially, it could knock feminism down if we flipped it back that way, because the problem is women are not competing for men anymore per se, in terms of, who can find the richest man, because most women are making their own money, right? So now that changes the dynamic.
But they are competing. Like, I think they are competing because they're all competing for the top portion, right? Because they have all the options. Oh God, I'm zooming in. So it's like they're only competing for the top, and the rest of the guys are going, why aren't they competing for me? Well, it's because you're a scrub. Like, get good.
Well, are they competing? They're not competing for the top, like financial side of things. They're competing for the top, like looks,
status,
status,
what's that
money.
What's that
all
bullshit
everything.
Andrew Wilson always talks about? The Great Hoe Reformation. Like you talk about the Great Hoe Reformation. I like, this is part of the reason I don't go to church. God damn it. Anyway, is that it hates me, bro. Anyway, fuck it. I'll finish
Every
this.
time I see you do that, it reminds me of little kids after they pick their nose when they do that with their.
It's driving me crazy. I don't know why it's not working. I whatever. Anyway, yada yada yada. But like, it's like kind of they talk about the Great Hoe Reformation, and I think this is true. Is you see a lot of people, like both men and women, they give up and then they go to church. They're like, I'm going to find God, and yeah, that's good. But at the same time, it's like if you waited until nothing else is going good for you, then you are of some kind of lesser value. I think that like there's some truth to this, but once again, I don't know if they hit the nail on the head perfectly. And I don't know. I got really distracted by this bullshit. Anyway, I'm sorry.
The Great Hoe Reformation and whether it will change, because we were talking about the top 10%, whether that would change.
Yeah, it's because it's competition. Like if you make a bunch of money, or like you're a college athlete or a pro athlete, obviously you're the top 1%. And like my chat's over here talking about the hotness crazy scale because I brought that up. But yeah, and that's true. But there's also like the kind of the fact is like, okay, I might be an above average dude, but I'm not Elon Musk rich, right? I was college athlete, so I got good genetics, but I'm currently not fucking walking around 6-pack, all this shit. And some ladies prefer that, some don't, whatever. But like at the same time, I'm not gonna be able to go date Sydney Sweeney. I know that. I'm realistic. Maybe if I saw her, I'd shoot my shot. But like even then, I'm pretty sure I'd get rejected.
Do you think she's that hot? I think she kind of looks.
Okay, I'm just using this example. Fine, we could pick Natalie Dormer.
America thinks she's like super hot right now.
Sure, we could pick Natalie Dormer.
Let me elaborate on where her hotfulness is. Okay,
I found out that first cousins are okay, so maybe she is, good.
Oh God.
Yeah. Or something.
But essentially, if you're if you don't have money, you gotta do efforts, right? Or you gotta have a big dick, or you gotta be like her best friend since you were 5, right? You have to have something else to compensate if you don't have the money to provide. If you're not the big guy on campus financially.
If you were best friend since you're 5, just go ahead and give up now, bro. That's it's okay to get friend zone. Make her hook you up with her friends. It'll be fine.
Yes. But what I'm saying is if you don't have the money to buy her, right? Essentially buy her. And I don't mean that in a prostitute way, but if you don't have the money to buy her love, you have to compensate in another way. And what's happening is we're seeing men who can't compensate in either dick size, nice body to look at, treat us like gold, or money, right? And that is because they're assholes or they're douchebags or they suck in bed or whatever the case. And this is why they're not maintaining relationships, because they've already tried and girls rejected because they're either douchebags, losers, sit on the beanbag eating Cheetos, or they don't have money to buy it. How many like super rich men have you seen that are like total ugly looking dudes and they walk out with the hottest fucking chicks? They don't have to be good looking. They just have the money to compensate enough, right? So when it comes to men, like which features are you adding in? Or do you have all of them? Or do you have one of them? Like which things do you have? And if you have none of them, you can't complain, because if you don't have the money or the big dick, you better be a really fucking great personality.
Yeah, but even then, there's still like a level. Like Harvey Weinstein's not going to pull the same girl as Johnny Depp.
Right.
Harvey Weinstein looks like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What was the joke that Dave Chappelle makes? He's like, that's still one of the few guys I looked at and was like, he grapes. The guy looks like a troll, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you if you're the richest guy in the world and you're good with words, there's still like a cap, kind of thing.
Right.
But like, people aren't realistic anymore. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just had to get the Dave Chappelle joke in.
Yeah. In tens, what are your? I think that's what that says. I don't
yeah. So, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I think that like there's like financial gold digging, and then there's emotional gold digging. And like at a certain point, like a woman's not respecting herself if she's not digging any gold. Like you got to have a woman who respects herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, like, so some people really want your time, and they don't want any of your money. They don't want any of your money, and I think those people are the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, why is that? To want somebody's time and not money?
Well, when you want somebody else's time, right? There's a lot of people that don't bring like they're not. It's a two-way street with time, and with money, it's not. So, yeah, you know, if you have a very one-sided relationship, you know, in a long-term relationship, it's usually one person who wants it more than the other person. So
I think that's where the transactional piece comes in. Like, you should both be getting something out of the relationship, and if you're not, then why are you in a relationship?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You should both be contributing, unless something happens to your spouse or your significant other where they cannot contribute anymore. Of course it's transactional. If one person is sitting around all day doing nothing and the other person is busting ass, how is that any fair? And that's not going to last long. Somebody's going to get really resentful. But I think one of the things I was going to say is, I think for your average looking woman, I'll put myself in that category, I've never looked at men in terms of like, well, he's got to have this list of things. I've always wanted a man whose character matched mine. I've always wanted a man who was willing to work hard for things. And of course you want to be attracted to them. But does that, I've never, for me, I think I've always typically found the really, really traditionally attractive guys, they're just assholes, and they know that they're really good looking, and I don't find that attractive anyway. And so I think men in that group of men, I think, tend to get really, really down on women won't pick me. I just don't really think that's true. I think most people that are putting in any effort in their lives, there's probably somebody out there for you, but you got to put in your effort to be somebody someone wants.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you gotta accept who wants you, right? Like, if you go in there and you're like, oh, nobody wants me, but 5 girls want you, and you just don't like any of them. Okay, that's on you at some point. Like, at some level, it's your fault.
Yeah, that makes sense. 10th, did you want to chime in yet? 10th man?
I think it's kind of, I have months ago said the exact same thing Gibbs saying, and I say, if you're a 6 out of 10, have sex with a couple 5s, right? Like, get your confidence up. Like, I think it's cute that people think that they can be average yet get more than average, and then like he's saying, you know, like I've seen where chicks were interested in dudes or vice versa, and one of the two think that they're super hot but they're gross, and just because a few dudes who were somewhat good looking had sex with them 5 years ago, they think they can pull that every time, and it's ridiculous, right? Just and as if you got better looking over the past 5 years, but people don't think like that, right? You're muted, Gibbs.
Oh, I knew I was muted. I was just bullshitting. Sorry. What quiet for me.
Dusty, the bottom left corner, is that IPA lot or IP a lot? Because either way, it's hilarious.
That's funny.
It is, in fact, both.
That's cute.
Well played.
Dusty, did you want to chime in?
I don't think I have anything to add from what I've heard so far. I mean, I do agree with, well, okay, 10th mentioned practice girl. I do think that's good. If you need to, like, get out of a lull or something, go find a practice girl. But I don't know. I think everyone just needs to do the best they can and not worry about self-evaluating. I mean, if you're shooting your shot and it's not working, then keep moving around until you find where it does work and try to maximize your returns. But I don't think that like trying to do objective self-analysis like we could ever possibly rank ourselves, or like it's even an objective metric. I think it's a waste of time. Just aim and go for it.
That's
also
fair.
I don't think money really matters.
What do you think does?
Well, a whole number of things matter more than money. I think money is it matters to initial attractiveness probably, but you can have also any combination of things: confidence, humor, looks, and easily get around the money situation.
Mm-hmm.
Scientific studies show us that every day broke motherfuckers are getting laid and then having to get a ride home to their mom's house.
Nice. Yeah. And that's what I said earlier. Like, you can compensate with other things. Either you got a big dick, you got a really kicking body and you're super hot, you have a shit ton of money, or you have a great fucking personality and you make every girl giggle and laugh. IPA, over to you, sir. What are your thoughts?
Hi, guys. You know, kind of going on that money thing, right? Just to side tangent on that for a second. There was a study from, now this is like 15 or 20 years ago. There's a study that says something to the extent of, you know, that idea that money can't buy happiness. People beyond, at the time, again, 15, 20 years ago, it was like $90,000. Like, they're no happier than people that make more money than that. You know, so that is to say that whole idea of like more money, more problems, like it's true to some large degree. You know, obviously let's scale that up to today. It's a little bit different, probably a little bit more, but like, yes, it's helpful. It helps you do certain things, but some people don't care. You know, and it is a little bit subjective to some degree, and it goes back to the whole, you know, transactional thing, right? If you don't need those things, if you don't need financial security, then like, yeah, that's fucking worthless to somebody. If you make $200,000 a year and the person you're trying to date is already financially secure in their own mind, they have a nice house, or, you know, even just any kind of house that they're satisfactory with, right? Yeah, doesn't matter, you know. And to your point, right? Like, someone's going to make up with having a huge fucking cock. That's okay. It's whatever works for that couple, you know?
Well, and
or a small one they know to use, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean,
for me,
no,
right?
you know what? No.
Yeah, 2 inches long, 20 inches wide.
Listen, girth counts, and it is magical, okay? If you don't
trust me, I
have the
know.
length, you better have the girth.
Look,
all right.
and again,
Old
it
cheese,
is
transactional.
Okay, transactional. Me, not known for having not known for having a big dick. Okay, so yes, I gotta make a lot of money to make up for it.
People are still mad at me telling people how big I was on here almost a year ago. They're still mad about it because they're so small.
You know what's the Joker say? Don't do anything. You know that if you're good at something, you make sure you get paid or some shit. I'm fucking losing the quotes. It would have been better if I had. But yeah, I don't know. I think that like there's a lot of that's true. But like then IPA, I've never seen somebody crying on a jet ski. You know, like you know.
I mean,
you're not wrong. I lost my job. I'm rich as fuck. I'm gonna go to Tahiti.
I'm gonna humble brag here for a second, but I go jump in my fucking BMW M5, and yeah, I'm never fucking sad.
Well, and that just it rearranges your amount of problems, right? Or what your issues will be. So you may not have money issues. You may not be stressed over, can I buy that new jet ski? Okay, yeah, I got it. It's it's your stress levels are different. You know, your worries are different. Whereas like me, I'm a single mom. Like I have to worry about, okay, what bills are due this month and how, like, where are we stretching? And like, that's a whole nother set of problems that fall on me. And then if you add on other emotional issues, like, somebody breaks up with me, or my kid yelled at me today, or the stress of the economy, I don't fucking know, right? Anything else, like my level of crying is going to increase because it's not just those problems. Now I have those problems on top of financial, right? If that were the case. Whereas IPA can, if somebody hurt his feelings, he can sit in the shower and cry and then go get in his BMW and drive down to the the country club and go play golf with his buddies and have more IPAs and be like, it was a great cry, but guys, like I really had a great time, you know, like your problems are different.
I think though that so that studies that he was talking about, when once you hit a threshold, right? If you can remove the constantly living in financial emergency dynamic to where you've got your necessities met comfortably, right? After that, the diminishing returns, you really don't get a lot much out of it. Fuck, I forgot where I was going to land that. Oh well, that was a good start to what I was going to say.
So you really believe that a person who makes $100,000 is not any less happy than the person who makes $250,000 a year?
Yeah, I think that financial change does not increase your well-being much more, and studies have shown that.
I think that those people never knew true strife, if that's the case.
That's what I'm saying. Once you get out of true strife, you're happier.
No, I'm saying they never knew it in the first place, because otherwise it would make them happy.
Yeah, they never ate no
Well,
cheese.
that's actually though saying, Tenth, is that you've never known true excess to understand.
Oh,
that
I've not.
doesn't make you happy.
Right.
So the same end of the spectrum applies to you. You've never known the true gluttony of having too much money and how that doesn't make them happy.
But I have had friends and family members that were wealthy, and they seem way happier. And actually, they seem to almost make their own problems because they're bored.
Well, then that's the thing.
That is a real thing.
If you've got a car, if you've got a car, then whether you're driving a 94 Honda Accord or a Rolls Royce, ultimately your life is the same. You're still getting in something to drive to your destination. There's diminishing returns.
Well, I think Tim hit the nail on the head though with something, but it's not necessarily money related, right? Like, so all right, I live in I guess it was last year it was voted the worst city in America to date in, and this year it's like in the top 10, which is San Antonio, right? And I'm sitting here, and on top of that, I know I'm a toxic motherfucker, right? And so like I'm out with my friend Carly the other night, and her girlfriend Sam, and Carly is very much like me, you know. She's very spicy. Her girlfriend's a saint. She just sits there and takes it. And I said something, and she started choking me out. And I'm like laughing. I'm like, you got little tiny hands. I was like, you can't choke me out. Get your girl to help you out. And plus, I'm into that. And they both start laughing. And it's like, yeah, that's funny, and that's funny for them, right? But if I go and I'm out with a girl and I make that same joke, and she's like, I don't know, from Dallas, you know, this girl's going to have a very different mindset to say like what I'm used to, or she's not going to be as toxic most likely. And that's going to like shut you down. And I feel like it's a lot of this is like, you know, some people do want to create their own problems. Like if I don't have a problem in my relationship, sometimes this shit's boring. I need to be yelled at sometimes. I'm an asshole. Like I know this, right? Like there's going to be somebody who's going to be, sometimes I do need to be slapped. I'm not saying hit nobody, it's bad, but sometimes I deserve it, right? But like, you know, it's kind of like sometimes you do have to create your own problems. It's not always money related, but it can be relationship related. I know IPA is about to be like, yeah, you have issues, but that's we all know that.
That's
maybe
fair.
not slap, but just
allow
kept in
me
line,
to-
right? There needs to be boundaries.
Allow me to interrupt for just a second, gentlemen. The gauntlet is officially open. I'm going to shut down on the Raging Tomato side here on YouTube. If you are watching, in order to follow us over to continue into the shit show dumpster fire that usually happens after hours, you have to go to @thegauntletdebate on YouTube. Go over there, or I've provided the link into the chat. And if you are watching, you can catch the raid over there. I'm going to shut down the Raging Tomato side now. Catch the raid, or hit the link, or do your research and figure it out. You'll figure it out.